How's it going, everybody? I hope everyone survived the holidays and by now has awoken out of whatever food coma they put themselves into. I'm festively plump as well, so I don't know how many more videos I feel like making this year. But I think it's a good opportunity to look at our wish lists for next year. I mean, the season is still going on for a few weeks, but it's never too early to talk about things. Obviously, lists will differ depending on player, and I won't be talking about abstract things like, I want all characters to be balanced. Well, yeah, don't we all? Also, for a few things I will make dedicated videos, so I'll only briefly mention them in this one here. But let's get straight to it. I'm going to start off with something not so controversial. I hope that they will bring back unique, character-specific executions next year. It's been over a year now since we've last got some. On a per character basis, we've gotten more released this year, unless I'm mistaken. We've gotten Battle Pass ones, lots of events had themed ones, then we had the music ones, the faction projectile ones. So people that only played one or two characters, they could buy more each season. I don't know, and I don't think Ubisoft will ever release the sales numbers. With that I mean, what do players spend their steel on? And then comparing the execution sales the year before and last year. I mentioned this a lot when talking about how to influence a developer's decision. You do vote with your wallet, and even if it's just the Steel wallet. But to also make a bit of a compromise, I understand that the hero pool is growing and individual executions grow with it. Yet, one complaint about lots of event executions has always been their length. First, they put their own weapon away, then they pull out another one and then do some moves for 10 plus seconds. No one enjoys being stuck and unable to play for upwards of like 45 seconds depending on the game mode. So my suggestion is the following. Make them short and snappy. The next 3 executions will all be short and usable mid-fight or slightly on the sides of a team fight. Point is that hopefully the work for Ubisoft is less than. Quicker executions should mean less time for motion capturing, less time rigging and implementing them. It would also finally give every single hero a good short execution, which means people will not only want to buy them because it looks cool and because it's new, they will also want them because they're effective. I'm not saying go full power creep and make 800 ms 50 HP ones, far from it, but I think there can be a good middle ground here. I'm sure most of the player base would appreciate it after a year without any, especially the newer heroes are lacking in individual ones. But let's move on, something a little more controversial. Well, most players won't be affected by it in the slightest, but for people that rely on it, they might immediately tell me to go fuck off. I'm talking about Parry Flash. Get rid of it. Completely. Ubi could try shortening it until it's so short that it no longer functions as a reaction parry tool. The big debate here is the following. At the moment, it's all about how unhealthy option selects are and whatnot. I will dedicate a whole video to this topic with a lot more details and explanations than you see in the standard Reddit round thread. But just this much, if Ubisoft actually removed all option select parry variants, then the Parry Flash would be even stronger. We wanted to move away from reaction-based gameplay, and especially unblockable mix-ups are currently negated by that flash. Reaction monsters simply wait until the little white indicator appears and then react accordingly. These kind of attacks simply don't work against these players, which makes these mix-ups obsolete. Most people are already in agreement that bash-based offense is stronger than attack-based one, and that would be a first step towards rectifying that. And like I said, for the vast majority, this change would be absolutely irrelevant. You've probably never or very rarely faced anyone who can do it reliably, and if you so happen to be able to do it, you can probably tell why this would be a good change. Alright, next topic then. One I'll probably get a little pushback from the community. I personally think that stamina is still not in a good place. A lot of heroes are extremely stamina hungry, especially the ones with charged bashes, because of the feint cost. But not just them, stamina is oftentimes the limiting factor when it comes to maintaining offense. So my proposal is, just get rid of it. If your first thought is, oh then everyone will just spam. Isn't that what most people claim already? That everything is just spam and whoever spams first is always the winner? The hardest thing about this idea is probably trying to sell it to the average player. The guys that deny reads exist. But if we in fact remove it, then a lot of things like the out of stamina state would be gone, which means we'd have to replace it. Some people have proposed something along a power gauge like in other fighting games. Another suggestion was the posture gauge from Sekiro. Whatever idea is best, I can't tell. All I can say is that I think from all the aspects of the core combat update, stamina is still in need of some work. I understand that this is quite the drastic change, as we even have characters like Jormungandr, whose whole kit revolves around manipulating said stamina bar. But we're no stranger to drastic changes. Also, we always argue what genre For Honor is in the end. What type of game are we actually playing? There are no set rules for how such a game is made. Ubisoft is in a unique, not always envious position with it. They can go wild here, and maybe they can surprise all of us with many more changes that we've never even thought of. But the next problem is one present in every single online game. I'm talking about lag and ultimately laggy players. If there is one thing I continuously complain about, then it's people who might as well be playing from the moon, because they are for sure nowhere within a couple thousand kilometers of the server. Now, listen up, just so I make this very clear. I do not blame anyone for where they live. No one can expect anyone to move to another place just so they have a lower ping. I also don't want to not be able to group with people all around the world. Games that limit their player base like that have always irked me, so I want to keep that as well. But for crying out loud, Ubisoft, that Warriors Den statement, and I'm paraphrasing here, you'll never really meet anyone with a combined latency of over 100. That is so blatantly false, it's almost comical, if it wasn't so sad. Consoles mostly play via Wi-Fi. Look at screenshots from console matches. 7 out of 8 people always have a combined latency of 120 and more. And even on PC, every second lobby has latency numbers that ultimately lead to faster attacks. And that's the crux of the issue. Why hasn't even an attempt been made to actually shift the negative sides on the person with bad ping? Why am I suffering for having a single digit latency? And then packet loss, ping variance. There is so much shit going on in game that negatively impacts the game mechanics, and thus the enjoyment of the game. All this time, Ubisoft tried so hard to please everybody, and it's simply not possible. It's a Sisyphean task. You can't create a perfect environment for someone that spikes to 500 latency every 5 seconds. If someone has such a bad connection, whose cause is not a geographical one, but a homemade one, then why would you accommodate someone like that? Something needs to happen. This is a problem that affects everyone, no matter the skill level, no matter the platform, no matter whatever else. It's a huge topic and probably requires lots of work, but building something that works can most likely be used as a foundation for many future projects. I just hope they at least finally acknowledge the problem. But yeah, let's leave it at that. There are many more topics that need attention. We talked about Reflex Guard in the past, and the faction war is still unchanged. And I'm still not giving up on crossplay. I am convinced that this is the future of all online gaming that will get an announcement eventually. I always thought it would be the big topic for year 5, to be honest. Hopefully they'll surprise us. But let me know what you want for the next year, and if it's just another rambling about how the CCU needs to be reverted. I'm not tired of these comments at all. But jokes aside, I hope you all have a great start into the next year. See you then, and I hope the video was interesting. Thanks for watching. Laters, everybody. Sent came see them, I think.
Yep, he did.
I'm gonna clear mid and then come see
No.
and help. I have full feeds, like all heals.
You with me out of bash? He's dead.
No.
Marty's just owning.
You fucking suck at video games. Come over here, pussy. No. Chill, chill. Haha. Owned.
Hade jag... Mari just killed
No, one's left. You see?
I see him.
Yeah, he's
Tank
Mari's a
spotted,
fucking
enemy
gamer.
spotted.
He's playing
Oh, no,
LB
he's
and he's
with
gaming
Mario,
on them
yeah.
hard.
Enemy spotted. Pussy. What's wrong with you?
I'm coming here to support your gaming.
No need. I am simply too powerful as this character.